Prime Minister before the next general election. With us tonight, Jackson James. He's a resident senior fellow at the German Marshall Fund in the US. Thank you for being with us. I suppose this was Alice Wedel's chance to introduce herself to a global audience, and on that score, it probably was a success. But do you think it will move the dial in the German election?
I don't really think so. I mean, I think that Alice Weidel and, quite frankly, Musk himself are not typical of the people that are actually congregating around the AfD. They're both very global in their backgrounds and in their thinking, I think. And as a result, I suspect that they may change a few, but they're not going to have an impact, because the issues that people are really concerned about are not much of what they covered. And that is the economy, the immigration issues, and to some extent, the problems of anxiety about the war next door.
Musk called Wedel the leading candidate to run Germany in this interview, but as far as I was aware, all other parties in Germany have ruled out working with her. And in fact, the leading candidate is the CDU centre-right leader, Friedrich Merz. Why is he not talking to him?
Well, that's a good question, but obviously Alice Weidel is somebody who is a kind of a soulmate in terms of his thinking about libertarian politics, his ideological background, and I think, quite frankly, they also have one thing in common, is that they've both been in high finance business communities in their past careers. So I think he just found somebody who's got a lot of common denominators, I guess.
There were some of the facts that she put out there which are questionable and need to be fact-checked, but two things that she did talk about, which will resonate with voters, was energy and the Scholz decision to close down nuclear energy at a time when we were in a fuel crisis in Europe, and the level of taxes in Germany. That will resonate, will it not?
Yeah, the energy prices are higher, and the basic issue is going to be how they're going to bring them down. On the taxes issues, yeah, Germany's a high tax country. But I think that, again, what I said before, Christian, is that basically I think most of the voters are going to focus on three things. It's going to be the economy, it's going to be the immigration issue, how to get it out of control, and it's going to be about that anxiety of that war next door in Ukraine. And the sophistication of talking about nuclear energy and wind and solar, and by the way, at the end of the conversation, how long is it going to take for Mr. Musk to get to Mars? I mean, it was really well beyond, I think, what's the daily politics in Germany.
Just very quickly, we've got Sir Keir Starmer meeting with Emmanuel Macron tonight, and we're told that this topic will come up. Certainly, Elon Musk's recent interference in European politics. Why do you think EU governments are so timid at pushing back?
Well, I'm not sure. I think that basically there's a nervousness here about it, particularly in Germany, because the election's coming up next month, and so they're all concerned about how that's going to turn out. And these kinds of high-level platform megaphones that Mr. Musk owns, are something that unnerves them. But I think that the best way to respond to that is just simply by not being only indignant, but just be innovative about what their policies can be and should be, and sell, and get out there and sell them.
Dr. Jackson James, good to talk to you tonight. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.